Dark side, light this bitch up.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome, 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 and super duper happy to have you here for round one of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in October tournament qualifiers for Group A. And we got 3 rounds of action, mayhem, and strategy coming your way today. But first and foremost, for those of you who aren't quite acquainted as to who I am RedEyes, your ever lovable and adorably cuddly caster, bringing you that daily dosage of butt kickery, tomfoolery, and all-around shenaniganism. And we do have a stack lobby for you today, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Crazy Owners Academy, Excuse, Off Limits, Gods Reborn, Old Gangsters, Detrimental. We got Crazy Owners, Wild Card, Nuclear Power, Exclaration, Night Slayers, As FCK, Season, Supreme 7 Existence, 007 Esports, Team Chanchos, Twisted Minds, Execution, Freedom, and Semper Invicta. So I'm expecting nothing but action right off the bat. And as you are very well aware, we're going to be kicking things off with, you guessed it, an Erangel match. Now, what needs to be said about Erangel? It's basically the off-bred love child of Sandhawk and Miramar, as it is the perfect middle ground between those two extremes, so it does leave it fairly reliant upon the flight path to determine what sort of early game we end up getting. With that being said, we see we're working with a very relatively central path here. That's absolutely ideal for our participants because it leaves them with nothing but options. It might be a little bit more of a hassle for us, the viewer, just for that very same reason. With them having so many options, we might be left with a little bit less close quarter combat to start off the match. But you know what I always say, ladies and gentlemen, is a more passive early game always directly translates to a more action-packed and climactic mid or end game. So it's going to be worth the trade. And right away, I do see we are getting some early jumpers here. Pardon me. Let me get that up there. All right, so we got members of, goodness gracious, that's Execution dropping alongside Excuse, actually a little bit above Excuse in the military base area. A little further off to our north, we can see members of Wildcard dropping alongside As FCK, and that could be very interesting to keep an eye on. And not only that, but they also apparently have members of Team Chanchos with them. Looks like Pachinki is going to be contested between Twisted Minds and members of Semper Invicta. Now, Semper Invicta made a fatal error in that they entered this as a 2-person team. And anyone who knows anything about my tournament, there's a rule. You need at least 3 tags to be scored. But they did not waste their time by entering as a 2-piece. By doing that, they are ensuring that they're not going to be banned from Dead in November. All right, we got 4 teams here. Looks like Old Gangsters are here. Looks like we got members of Season, Semper Invicta, and Twisted Minds. This is going to be interesting. Everyone just trying to get looted up at this moment. And as soon as we see something in the kill feed... Oh, and there we go. As a Twisted Minds member getting a knock on Verk of Old Gangsters, which is going to leave things in the hands of Katri, Arsh, and Pratty. We got Katri trying to go stick a revive, leaving Arsh and Pratty in charge of Overwatch and cover fire. And for those of you who are just now tuning in, this is round 1. Round 1 of 3. Ooh. Sen. S-E-N. Not sure who he was on. Aches left. I'm not sure what team he's on exactly. But he did just get a takedown with a pistol. That's pretty nice. Katri is up, but... you know, he wasn't the one who went down, to be honest. It was Verk, but Katri is pretty hurt here, brought down to about 1/5 of his overall health. He is going to be able to get a first aid off in time. We got Molly's raining in on him, Hellfire dropping on by. We got Pratty trying to do a little bit of Overwatch with that M4 red dot combo. Not getting any successful connecting damage. Verk going to try to cloud himself in a little bit of cover here. But they are kind of just sandwiched on 3 different sides. That's what I call a peanut butter and screwed sandwich. All right. Well, Twisted Minds going to unify themselves a little bit, and as to be expected, Old Gangsters are going to try to make it rain a little bit of hellfire on them. However, that one did not even make it in the building. Oh, what a nade by Pratty, though. Golly. Well, can he get the thirst? I doubt it, because with them having that cover... Oh, Arsh is going to push in, trying to stick a revive on his fallen teammate, Katri. Leaving things up to Verk and Pratty, pardon me. And Pratty does get the knock there with the AK-47. He's not done yet. Switching quickly over to his M4. He's got eyes on Eric. And Eric actually being taken out from a third party from Gods Reborn, and then Pratty taken down as well. And quickly thirsted to follow. That's going to be from Season. Season is very much in the mix here. Still a full 4-person team. That's going to be their first kill as well. And Arsh does get the takedown on Season, or Chaos Season. Twisted Minds reduced down to one member and one member only. It's going to be dead. D4D. I'm guessing it's... I'll call him D, but probably for dead. And he is just waiting for that inevitable push from the old gangsters, and it is coming sure as rain. Hey, thank you for the follow, Than Thou Map. I have no idea how to say your name, but I apologize about that. I mean, absolutely no disrespect by it. All right, just waiting for that push, but it's coming. Well, is it, though? Well, it looks like old gangsters are actually focusing more on Zipper Invicta and his Butterfly taken out at the hands of Arsh. Well, that's going to leave his teammates down to a three-piece, but we're going to quickly switch over to members of Gods Reborn here. We got Aru, Dark, Wolf, and that kid. And they're not far off from the Pachinki area, but they do have a little bit of positioning, a little bit of, not much distance, but they have the warehouse just outside of Pachinki, but they are in zone. So whether or not they choose to use this opportunity to rotate, it's kind of a situational basis, but looks like I see something. Yep, it's going to be members of Wildcard coming in to join the party. Tony K putting the fire down with that UMP, and he does. It's his teammate who gets the knock. Nicely done. These guys are on a rampage here. As they secure their first kill, they're going after Dark now. It looks like they're giving up pretty quickly on that chase, though. By the way, guys, if you aren't aware, we are streaming on 4 different platforms right now for this. 4 different platforms. Absolutely not practical for building viewers on a single platform, but it is to kind of try to improve the accessibility of this event. Let me get this open. Well, that leaves our closest confrontation to be the one we've already been watching here with the old gangsters, who now have 5 kills to their name. Still a 3-piece, but, you know, 1 person lost for 5 kills is a pretty good trade, if you ask me. You might end up hearing a little bit of this stream on repeat here for just a sec. We'll see. Huh. Yeah, and Katri just laying low, being a little bit sneaky. There we go. All right, well, sorry about that. Okay. Well, it is that calm before the storm, ladies and gentlemen, as we are just left with a little bit of a spread here, and spreads do happen. So while we have this time, I'm going to go over the format. However, keep in mind the format has been adjusted since this graphic has been made. So I'll explain those changes as well. We've got 20 teams competing. Of those 20 teams, now we will have 4 advancing, as we are running 3 qualifiers, not 4 qualifiers, and inviting 8 Tier 1 teams along in the mix here. And after that, they will be competing for that proverbial $400 cash prize. Boom. Actually, now, thanks to our sponsors, HOG, Hunter of Gunmen, and Glacier Gaming, we will also be having a $50 top frag prize. Now, let me just make really quickly sure that I posted this announcement. I did. Good. Okay. Well, I think we'll go over to Deed here just in case, but It does not look like D is trying to bring too much attention to themselves. It's going to be a slow play, and I mean, why not? Because they already have 5 kills to their name. At this point, they could kind of lay a little bit lower and let those numbers dwindle down a bit. And Verk is going to use this opportunity to actually hop in the car with Arsh and dip on out of dodge. But will they make it successfully? It might not happen. Oh, and Verk is taken down right there and then. Goodness knows that was a tough go of it. Arsh taken down to about half health, going to try to retaliate a little bit. We see Katri, their teammate, being eliminated in the distance, leaving everything riding on Arsh and Arsh alone. And he's got plenty of first aids and the time to get it off, apparently. Verk, will he be able to get a revive on him? He is going to drench himself in smoke, getting himself what bit of cover he can. And Verk is out of there, so things are entirely riding on Arsh. Just trying to get fully boosted, but his moments are numbered here as he is being pushed on pretty soon by members of Twisted Minds, I believe. Yep, we got D, one house over. But D, once again, not pushing it. All right, well, I'm not going to sit around and watch too much of that. And there's nothing wrong with that kind of gameplay at all. But it, obviously, as casters, we are looking for the action here. And whether or not Arsh will take on that is yet to be seen. Let me get eyes on Excuse here for a minute. Yep, Excuse now with 2 kills to their name and securing the 3rd, coming out of that confrontation victoriously. We are going to check in, see if there's anything else on the board here. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, while we are left with that little bit of a spread here, it is to be expected on larger maps, and larger maps are going to be 2 out of the 3 maps that we're working with today. And as I said earlier, a more passive early game always directly translates to a more action-packed and climactic mid or in-game, so it is going to be worth the trade. However, with this little bit of time, I should note that I have boosted everything. The zone speeds boosted. The amount of time before the zone starts reduced. Loot obviously doubled, etc., etc. But we are due for a fast-paced match altogether. That's kind of, I think, going to be the new structure that I'm going to stick with, is just sort of speeding up a lot of stuff. That way, we can sort of override those passive moments, the little bits of downtime, those 5-minute spreads, and just focus on pretty much recurring action. So I don't mean to give all the attention to these 3 teams here, but they are the ones who are in the action, as we still have 58 people up. That means we've only lost about 14 or 15 people so far. Everyone just trying to secure a place in zone. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this zone is divided here. That river is going to split these people up, meaning that in a lot of cases, there's going to be a little bit of congestion around the bridge areas. However, this river is not very wide, so it'll be on a case-by-case basis. But ooh, Molly from the As FCK crew just being wrecked in the face, leaving things riding on Noob and Dead. Noob a good ways off, and Dead gonna try to retaliate a little bit, not able to do anything, so he's gonna fall back and try to get a little bit more of a position of cover and safety. He barely makes it as he is being shot down to exactly half health just as he turns that corner. All right, and I mean, I'm very frustrated here with what's going on here in Pachinki. These guys are just holding it there, and Dia's not trying to get the smoke right now. So Dia's just kind of been holding it down, and Arsh fell for it. Arsh fell for it. It was a matter of a patience game, and D was able to hold out, waiting a little bit longer, just probably had more meds and a little bit more patience as well. We can see members of Season just below Gatka right now. They're going to be working their way into zone. Let me see here. I am, of course, speaking of the Season boys who are working their way down on a flank rotation, kind of pulling the long route to a eastern entry. I'm not sure why they're doing that exactly. And the reason I'm not sure is because that where they're flanking to on the east side, that's the furthest distance to travel to zone. So it's a little bit of a confusing flank, but we'll see. All right, we're going to switch our attention directly over to members of Supreme 7 Existence, and we got Sugul here. Sugui being shot down to literally 10% health at best. His teammate, DYO Gaming, taken down. Oh! DYO is not downed. Pardon me, there is no D. It's Yo-Yo Gaming. And look, Excuse is going off in the distance. Let's catch eyes on him because now they are at 4 kills here. We got Kai of Team Excuse. What is up with that lack of sound? I'm going to clip this. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I turned off the replay buffer on accident, ladies and gentlemen, so we did not get any of those clips from the past 5 minutes or so. No big deal. But we will go ahead and just focus here on the action. We got members of OL. This is, of course, off limits, and they are operating as a 3-piece. Now, as we said, you know, that is going to put them at an immediate disadvantage, just having less gunpowder, less manpower. But we have seen crazier things, ladies and gentlemen. 3 pieces can absolutely still win it, but it does mean that they are probably going to have to dial back their aggression a little bit. As you can see, playing things a little bit closer to home, letting those numbers dwindle down before they try to utilize as much aggression as they can come in-game. Let's see here. One moment, guys. I'm going to give these participants a little bit of grief here. All right, wild card going off in the distance here. Now, this is, of course, not to be confused with Wildcard Gaming, my previous sponsor and previous org. This is a different wild card. Not to be less intimidated, though. We got Tony K pushing up the hill closer and closer to members of Team Execution. What is going on? Who is... Jesus, who is... All right, I don't know what is going on with my phone, guys. I do apologize about that. We are going to just check this out. The zone has once again shifted, and boy, it is going to be favoring the hilltop on the shooting range. So realistically, I would imagine that the most opportune thing that they can do at this stage is try to utilize this high ground. That is going to be their best bet. So I think there's going to be some contestation between a couple teams trying to secure that. In the meantime, we are going to keep our eyes here on Wildcard just because they have members of Season very close by, just pulling a rotation. Will Wildcard try to engage on it? I don't think it's going to happen at this point. Otherwise, they would have already done it. Let's quickly switch our attention momentarily to the Crazy Owners Academy as they drive right over members of AsFCK. AsFCK at this point is just down to a 2-person team of Noob and Dead, so they're not going to be trying to bring too much attention to themselves, especially considering that they are not even with one another. That is quite a risky move on their end as a 2-piece to be split up in a cash scrim. You know, but everyone has their own gameplay, so we'll see how it works out for them. Thank you, Jade. All right. Well, guys, I do want to bring some attention to everybody. There are several reasons why we switched our platform over to Twitch. Yes, we are streaming on every platform, but I would like to congregate the viewers over onto one singular platform for the most part. I keep it on all for, you know, some people who don't have Twitch, and apparently that is a thing. You know, a lot of people have Trovo working better for them somehow. And, oh, G-Man getting some good damage to Calicar of Crazy Owners. This is, of course, G-Man of the Supreme 7 Existence, and he's doing so on his stomach from a Belly Bandit perspective. Keep in mind, guys, 2 of his teammates, Godlike and Sugui, are knocked, so it's going to be a 2-person team at this moment. Will they be able to stick revives? I don't know, but we can see his teammate here, Yo-Yo Gaming, does get the takedown right there and then. Oh, but his teammate taken out in retaliation. at the hands of Cash App? I don't know. You guys are killing me with these names.
What is your name?
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Yo-Yo does get him. Cash App is down, leaving things riding on Bionic, and Bionic alone. And he is going to be trying to lay low, not draw the attention onto himself, but it might be too late. I think I just heard a nade or some sort of utility being thrown nearby. Lots of action happening all at once, ladies and gentlemen. We still have this two-person team of Yo-Yo and G-Man holding it down now at this point with 3 kills. And here we have the floating energy drink. Never seen that glitch before, but here we have it. All right, let me send out one more message. Okay, so we got members of, is that Season? No, it's Off Limits, pulling a rotation. That kid pulled a very risky vehicle rotation, and Tony and the rest of the members, actually it wasn't even his, yeah it was, TP-151, his teammate, did get the takedown. I take that back. I'll withdraw my previous statement, and Tony going in right there and then. His teammate 151 has actually got that knock as well. Keep in mind, their own teammate, Never Fresh, has been down, bringing them to a 3-piece, and here's the charge from 151 coming right into the smoke, UMP in hand. He's going to try to stick a revive on his fallen teammate right here and now. Luckily enough, they are in probably what is the only compound in zone. Now look at this, as FCK reduced down to Noob and Noob alone, and he is holding it down for the team as he secures his 2nd kill and the team's 3rd. Nice takedown by Noob. Boy, is rocking that red dot M4 pretty well. He gets a takedown on ring, however, being shot from the side, taking some third-party damage right then, brought down to just below half health. Luckily for him, he does have some first aids to cling to. Okay. All right, well, we got 2 members left of Detrimental. It's going to be Noob. I know this is quite confusing because we have a lot of noobs, a lot of deaths, a lot of names repeating here, but these are different teams here. And look, it was Keem who got a takedown on one of his opponents, but taken down ultimately by the play zone. And that brings me to my next point, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how good these players are, none of them have a higher KD than that blue zone. And this is just all-out bloodbath warfare. It is not a lot of space, not a lot of cover between these people. And there's Bionic there getting a takedown with a nade and trying to secure a thirst. All right, guys, we are reduced down to just a couple teams left, and that is Noob still going in for the AF crew. He's been operating as a solo now for quite some time and has already secured 4 kills. Really keeping the team name alive. And I know that another Noob was just taken out. It can get confusing. Oh! Well, Durkio not playing games. That was a monster nade, to say the least. Just wrecked into him. There was absolutely no hiding for him. He knew exactly where his opponent was. Never Fresh trying to hold down a position here on the other side of the hill. Let me switch over to Durkio. He is absolutely a solo at this point in a 1v4 scenario. All odds stacked against him, but hey, crazier things have happened. 151 is getting the high ground, and it's a quick finish, ladies and gentlemen. That alone is game over. And we have got to give it up to Wildcard. Wildcard securing the victory here with, wow, 12 kills. Not bad. 8 of those kills are between Never Fresh and 151. We got second place going to XLR. That's Acceleration. They're going to be taking that with 2 kills. We got the AsFCK boys grabbing third with 5 kills. 4 of those 5 came from Noob alone, who carried it on as a solo for quite some time. Fourth place is going to be going to this DI group. Let me have a look-see. I'm not sure. Yep, it is Detrimental, and they're going to be securing that with 7 kills. Hey, Hunter Gunman, welcome to the Twitch, buddy. If you guys aren't following Hunter Gunman, please do. He is one of the 2 sole sponsors. Him and his wife are the entire reason that this event has been allowed to continue. So please extend a huge thank you to him and show some support to him as well, because him and his wife are both streamers and awesome people. So anyways, Detrimental, 4th place with 7 kills. We got R2W. This is, of course, going to be, goodness knows, oh, it's COA, pardon me, Crazy Owners Academy. They do not have 3 tags. That's very problematic on their end. 3 kills to the Crazy Owners Academy. 6th place is going to go to OL. OL is off limits, and they are going to secure that with 0 kills, unfortunately for them. The S7 boys, this is Supreme 7 Existence, grabbing 7th place with 4 kills. 3 of those 4 came from Yo-Yo alone. 8th place going to KSE. These are a lot of new tags for me. KSE. Is this correct? KSE. KSE. Who the heck is KSE? I'm going to find out right now. Give me one moment. I do apologize for this, guys. KSE. Oh, never mind. I am so silly. They're actually on here right in front of my face here, just not capitalized. KSE is going to be the Night Slayers. I won't forget that again. They're going to be taking 8th place, but not with any low amount of kills. They were able to secure 11 that early and still be eliminated in 8th place. So while it is sort of a later elimination, those kills are absolutely going to be huge in bumping them up that roster quite a bit. We got 9th place going to TCH. TCH, of course, it's going to be tough for me to find it. It's Team Chanchos with 1 kill from October 29th. We got the CO crew, that is Crazy Owners, grabbing 10th place, but with a big fat onion for kills. XE, this is so many new tags. XE is Execution, and they're going to be taking that with 1 kill from Wolf. 007 grabbing 12th place, but with 0 kills to speak of. We got 13th going to the GR crew. This is Gods Reborn with 2 kills. In P, that's Nuclear Power, I believe. Let me double check. Yep, Nuclear Power in 11th with 1 kill from Squall. We got the Season crew in 15th with 2, both of which are from Impact. 16th is going to belong to Twisted Minds, I believe. That's Twisted Minds? Yes, Twisted Minds. They're going to be securing that with 2 kills. Both of those kills came from D. Excuse in 17th with 5. 18th going to the Old Gangsters with 5 as well. And lastly, 19th going to Semper Invicta. It's probably for the best in this case, because if Semper Invicta had exerted a lot of energy and effort, they'd have probably been pretty upset once they found out that they could not have been scored as a 2-piece. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We have just concluded round 1, but hang tight because we have got 2 more rounds of Action, Mayhem, and Strategy coming your way. I will be back in about 8 to 10 minutes with round 2 of 3 of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in October tournament qualifiers, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunmen, HOG, and Glacier Gaming. Stick around. We'll be back soon. But they are in zone. So whether or not they choose to use this opportunity to rotate, it's kind of a situational basis. But looks like I see something. Yep, it's going to be members of Wildcard coming in to join the party. Tony K putting the fire down with that UMP, and he does. It's his teammate who gets the knock. G-Man of the Supreme 7 existence, and he's doing so on his stomach from a belly bandit perspective. Keep in mind, guys, two of his teammates, Godlike and Sugui, are knocked, so it's going to be a two-person team at this moment. Will they be able to stick revives? I don't know, but we can see his teammate here, Yo-Yo Gaming, does get the takedown right there and then. I mean, why not? Because they already have 5 kills to their name. At this point, they could kind of lay a little bit lower and let those numbers dwindle down a bit. And Burke is going to use this opportunity to actually hop in the car with Arsh and dip on out of dodge. But will they make it successfully? It might not happen. Oh, and Burke is taken down right there and then. Oh! Well, Durkio not playing games, absolutely no hiding for him. He knew exactly where his opponent was. Never Fresh trying to hold down a position here on the other side of the hill. Let me switch over to Durkio. He is absolutely a solo at this point in a 1v4 scenario. All odds stacked against him, but hey, crazier things have happened. 151 is getting the high ground, and it's a quick finish, ladies. Okay, so we got members of, is that Season? No, it's Off Limits, pulling a rotation. That kid pulled a very, okay, so we got members of, is that Season? No, it's Off Limits, pulling a rotation. That kid pulled a very risky vehicle rotation, and Tony and the rest of the members, actually it wasn't even his, yeah it was, TP151, his teammate did get the takedown. I take that back. I'll withdraw my previous state, and Tony going in right there and then by the play zone. And that brings me to my next point, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how good these players are, none of them have a higher KD than that blue zone. And this is just all-out bloodbath warfare. It is not a lot of space, not a lot of cover between these people. And there's Bionic there getting a takedown with a nade and trying to... Nice takedown by Noob. Well, can he get the thirst? I doubt it, because with them having that cover, oh, Arsh is going to push in, trying to stick a revive on his fallen teammate Katri, leaving things up to Verk and Pratty, pardon me. And Pratty does get the knock there with the AK-47. Their own teammate, Never Fresh, has been down, bringing them to a 3-piece. And here's the charge from 151 coming right into the smoke, UMP in hand. He's going to try to stick a revive on his fallen teammate right here and now. Luckily enough, they are in probably what is the only compound in zone. Now look at this. As FCK reduced down to Noob and Noob alone, and he about that. I mean, absolutely no disrespect by it.
Oh boy.
All right, just waiting for that push, but it's coming. Well, is it though? Well, it looks like old gangsters are actually focusing more on Zipper Invicta and his Butterfly taken out at the hands of Arsh. All right. Well, Twisted Mind's gonna unify themselves a little bit, and as to be expected, old gangsters are gonna try to make it rain a little bit of hellfire on them. However, that one did not even make it in the building. Oh, what a nade by Pratty though! Golly! Arsh, Verk and Pratty, pardon me. And Pratty does get the knock there with the AK-47. He's not done yet. Switching quickly over to his M4. He's got eyes on Eric. And Eric actually being taken out from a third party from Gods Reborn, and then Pratty taken down. But they are in zone. So whether or not they choose to use this opportunity to rotate, it's kind of a situational basis. But looks like I see something. Yep, it's going to be members of Wildcard coming in to join the party. Tony K putting the fire down with that UMP, and he does. It's his teammate who gets the knock. G-Man of the Supreme 7 existence, and he's doing so on his stomach from a belly bandit perspective. Keep in mind, guys, two of his teammates, Godlike and Sugui, are knocked, so it's going to be a two-person team at this moment. Will they be able to stick revives? I don't know, but we can see his teammate here, Yo-Yo Gaming, does get the takedown right there and then. I mean, why not? Because they already have 5 kills to their name. At this point, they could kind of lay a little bit lower and let those numbers dwindle down a bit. And Verk is going to use this opportunity to actually hop in the car with Arsh and dip on out of dodge. But will they make it successfully? It might not happen. Oh, and Verk is taken down right there and then. Oh! Well, Durkio not playing games, absolutely no hiding for him. He knew exactly where his opponent was. Never Fresh trying to hold down a position here on the other side of the hill. Let me switch over to Durkio. He is absolutely a solo at this point in a 1v4 scenario. All odds stacked against him, but hey, crazier things have happened. 151 is getting the high ground, and it's a quick finish, ladies. Okay, so we got members of, is that Season? No, it's Off Limits pulling a rotation. That kid pulled a very, okay, so we got members of, is that Season? No, it's Off Limits pulling a rotation. That kid pulled a very risky vehicle rotation, and Tony and the rest of the members, actually it wasn't even his, yeah it was, TP151, his teammate did get the takedown. I take that back. I withdraw my previous statement, and Tony going in right there and then by the play zone. And that brings me to my next point, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how good these players are, none of them have a higher KD than that blue zone. And this is just all-out bloodbath warfare. It is not a lot of space, not a lot of cover between these people. And there's Bionic there getting a takedown with the nade and trying. Nice takedown by Noob. Well, can he get the thirst? I doubt it, because with them having that cover. Oh, Arsh is going to push in, trying to stick a revive on his fallen teammate Katri, leaving things up to Verk and Pratty, pardon me. And Pratty does get the knock there with the AK-47. Their own teammate, Never Fresh, has been downed, bringing them to a three-piece. And here's the charge from 151 coming right into the smoke. UMP in hand. He's going to try to stick a revive on his fallen teammate right here and now. Luckily enough, they are in probably what is the only compound in zone. Now look at this. As FCK reduced down to Noob and Noob alone, and he about that. I mean, absolutely no disrespect by it. All right, just waiting for that push, but it's coming. Well, is it though? Well, it looks like old gangsters are actually focusing more on Zipper Invicta and his butterfly taken out at the hands of Arsh. All right. Well, Twisted Mind's gonna unify themselves a little bit, and as to be expected, old gangsters are gonna try to make it rain a little bit of hellfire on them. However, that one did not even make it in the building. Oh, what a nade by Pratty though! Golly! Verk and Pratty, pardon me. And Pratty does get the knock there with the AK-47. He's not done yet. Switching quickly over to his M4. He's got eyes on Eric. And Eric actually being taken out from a third party from Gods Reborn, and then Pratty taken down. But they are in zone. So whether or not they choose to use this opportunity to rotate, it's kind of a situational basis. But looks like I see something. Yep, it's going to be members of Wildcard coming in to join the party. Tony K putting the fire down with that UMP, and he does. It's his teammate who gets the knock. Man of the Supreme 7 existence, and he's doing so on his stomach from a belly bandit perspective. Keep in mind, guys, two of his teammates, Godlike and Sugui, are knocked, so it's going to be a two-person team at this moment. Will they be able to stick revives? I don't know, but we can see his teammate here, Yo-Yo Gaming, does get the takedown right there and then. I mean, why not? Because they already have 5 kills to their name. At this point, they could kind of lay a little bit lower and let those numbers dwindle down a bit. And Verk is going to use this opportunity to actually hop in the car with Arsh and dip on out of dodge. But will they make it successfully? It might not happen. Oh, and Verk is taken down right there and then. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to round 2 of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in October tournament qualifiers for Group A, brought to you and sponsored by HOG Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming. And we are going to be kicking off round 2, as you guessed it, a Miramar. What needs to be said about Miramar? Well, basically, it's the largest map that we have in the game. Technically, Erengel's the same size, but that includes Erengel's bodies of water. So realistically, this is our largest map as an 8x8, meaning that the odds of two teams landing next to each other is just automatically going to be a bit slimmer. But it's also the most open map that we have, meaning that the odds of you being sniped from 300 meters is just exponentially higher. And the third and final thing I want to say is that this map is so large that it finds itself pretty much entirely dependent upon the flight path to determine what sort of early game we end up getting. And with that being said, we see the participants are kind of lucking out again, and the reason being it's a fairly centralized flight path, which is going to leave them with a huge number of options. Great for them. Again, might not be quite as ideal for us, the viewer, just because it might leave us with a bit more of a passive early start. But as a reminder, guys, a more passive early game always directly translates to a more action-packed and climactic mid or end game. But on top of that, I boosted the hell out of this. We got the speeds like 2-point-something times faster. We got the zone closing speed starting early. We got them starting early and then I guess going faster and doing more damage along with the boosted loot. So we are going to try to keep this ball rolling as efficiently as possible. All right, I am seeing some early jumpers right off the bat, and it looks like it could lead to a confrontation here. We got members of, I guess that's Excuse, jumping northbound, and they are not alone. They've got members of the Night Slayers pretty close on top of them, looking like they might compete for the El Azahar area. Looks like Leones has a couple teams dropping in around the northern portion of the zone. It's going to be members of Detrimental dropping alongside Acceleration as well as Execution. And I apologize, Gods Reborn is there too. Look at here, Picado. This is what I'm going to tune into to start things off with. We're going to check it out. It's going to be the As FCK group against Season. Aches left, already equipped with a AK-47 M16 combo, dabbling in between TPP and FPP. It's a bold move, Cotton. You guys, Glacier has now shown up to the Twitch chat as well. So everything that I said for HOG Hunter of Gunmen absolutely applies for her as well. She is the other sponsor. I mean, they are together sponsoring this event. They're a husband and wife who, out of the kindness of their hearts, they get absolutely, I mean, they ask for nothing back in return. And I mean, that kind of generosity is one in a million. So guys, please show your appreciation for what they do for our community, and be sure to give them both a follow and tune into their streams. They're a ton of fun to watch and just the nicest people. All right, so Detrimental is in quite a conundrum here. They already have Keem and T98K taken down, and oh, it looks like 98K has been able to get revived by either Young or Noob. So that's stupid. Had to be by Noob. And he was immediately taken out afterwards. So revived only to be killed again. Well, they are right here in the midst of execution, and it's going to be a battle of patience here for the moment. Because when you do have this small amount of distance between the two teams, but both teams have compound cover, it can make things a little bit trickier to actually acquire thirst. You might get your knocks, but the ability to thirst is a little bit more difficult at that point. So you have to balance it. What is it? Is it worth it? What are you really doing? You're destroying your armor, their armor. You're losing your ammo. They're losing their ammo, etc. Is that worth it this early on? That depends on a case-by-case basis. Tuning into the winners of round 1, we got Wild Card here. Pretty darn close in proximity to Twisted Minds. Twisted Minds not far off, as you can see, but they are doing a 2-1-1 split, which could be interesting. Just in the light that they are, the way they are spreading out, Twisted Minds. Let me go ahead and do this, actually. So they're doing basically a tier 1 strategy. I see it a lot with teams like the Knights and the Panthers, where they do a 2-1-1 split and try to envelop the team that they're going up against, literally surround them on 3 sides, potentially even up to 4 sides if they can make that work. And just closing in that gap slowly but surely. All right, we got 151 catching eyes on Eric from Twisted Minds with the 4X M4. Not quite able to get any connecting damage, though. So yeah, guys, I do want to hit you guys with some brutal honesty here. I am, as you guys know, this tournament is almost 2 years running now. As of January, I believe January, might be February, it will hit the 2-year mark of this event. That means that we have run 48 events. That is a lot. 24 events. I was never good at math. We've run 24 events. I'm so sorry. I just screwed up basic math on stream, but we've run 24 events. It's a lot of events. And it has been just an awesome blast. Now, whether or not this event is going to continue is going to be up in the air. And the reason for that being is, as I steer away from Trovo, and try to direct things more towards the Twitch end, I am noticing a serious decline in viewership. And the only thing I can boil that down to, guys, is that a lot of those viewers previously had been there for the treasure box and not really to support the event. And that's completely understandable. But this is to help me get a more accurate gauge of what kind of viewership we can expect. And currently, I'll be honest, 20 viewers, while it is, enough to cast off of and feel like this is, enough people to watch, is it really enough to allow 2 of the nicest people to just devote that much money every month? That I don't feel like it is, and I'm just being painfully honest. And we had this issue last month with Group A's qualifiers as well. Just not a good turnout for the Group A qualifiers. People did show up for the other 3, which gave me a bit more hope, and the finals were great. But if this is one of those situations where I find out, just the viewer count isn't going to meet those standards, then I'm going to have to make that executive decision and cut the ties with it. And I hate to do that. But, ladies and gentlemen, if the event is not being appreciated enough to actually be watched, then it's not worth it to make people devote money out of their own pocket. Before, I was sponsored by Wildcard Gaming, and this was coming, all the sponsorship was coming from the streaming platform itself. This is not the same. This is all coming out of someone's personal wallet. It is a much bigger deal to me, and it is something that's been weighing on me pretty hard. So I am going to let you guys know in full transparency, if we do not get these viewer counts up over the next coming qualifiers and finals, then this could be the last month. And I hate to say that, it breaks my heart to do it because this event means a lot to me. But keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, over the course of these 2.5 years, my streaming career has really picked up. I'm not bragging or anything, but it's definitely gotten to a point where now I'm being paid considerably for every event that I cast, and not paid on a beginner's basis by any means. So this is literally the only event that I'm not paid for, and let me one-up it. I actually pay money to keep this event going as well. I pay staff a monthly fee, and I also pay for those little Trovo treasure boxes. And so that ultimately ends up being about $100 a month out of my own pocket as well. And I do that, because I wanted this event to be a staple point in the community. I really did. And I do. For a long time it was. But now, as, things are developing with the PUBG game, if it's not as pertinent to people's, interests anymore, that's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But it does mean, that this event might need to come to a conclusion. All right, let's get eyes on what's happening here. Never Fresh, the last remaining member of Wildcard, literally being encircled around by members of Twisted Minds. his moments look to be numbered, and it could be a nade coming in from behind. That's what I would think. And yep, they're cooking it up. It's a molly that does actually connect on Fresh. I think he's going to be able to heal up before that molly gets him, but whether or not they're going to push is yet to be seen. He's able to heal up. How did that neighbor? That's interesting. And boom goes the dynamite. Never Fresh is out, and Wildcard is eliminated. All right, no time to waste, ladies and gentlemen. We still have a little confrontation way southbound outside of zone, and it's going to be between members of Gods Reborn and Acceleration. Acceleration at this point relying on a two-person team of Stars and Viz. Viz did take a minimal amount of damage there from that. Nothing too serious, but... Yeah, so to Avins, I see you in the YouTube chat saying that I started the match a minute early. I did not at all. I started it actually about halfway through the 40th minute. Not even at the beginning of the 40th minute. I started halfway through it, and I am going to let you know I'm using an iMac universal timer. So the minutes are 100% accurate. So that is on you guys. All right. Well, we got BT going off in the distance. I do want to get eyes on that if I can. I don't remember who BT is, though. This is getting a little confusing. But look here, guys. Stars and Viz are about to find out the hard way that this is not going to go down as one of those standard situations where you can just lay low in the dead zone for very long. Because I have boosted up that damage. This is like the first dead zone, and it's already chipping away. All right, well, Viz does get the knock right there and then. Can he move it? Oh, taken down in retaliation as he pushes up the stairs, leaving everything riding on Stars and Stars alone. Coming up with a 34 clip M4. He does secure a thirst. And it's not out. He's not out of the frying pan yet. Here we go. And he was not expecting that. It is going to go in favor of Gods Reborn, and they will be able to get that revive on Dark, but it did not come without a price. They lost Aru and Wolf in the process. Let's tune in to Detrimental once again. At this point, it's Noob and Young in fairly darn close proximity to the Night Slayers. Night Slayers at this point are a three-person team. They did end up losing Wizzy earlier on. Actually, the Night Slayers are right on top of members of the Old Gangsters, just to get, or right underneath members of the Old Gangsters, it looks like. And it's really just Lech Boy here. Lech Boy and Tempo, I suppose. And I'm not really going to stick around for too much longer if that does not end up doing anything. And the zone has closed in, ladies and gentlemen. It looks to be a Monte Nuevo zone. Oh, S7 Godlike taken out. But what we just heard... Is this the Old Gangsters firing? It is. Old Gangsters firing at S7. Oh, Pratty taken down immediately as we switch over to him, leaving things riding on Katri, Verk, and Arsh. And Burke is going to be able to stick that revive more than likely there. We're going to switch over to a team that hasn't had any screen time yet. It's going to be 007 Esports as they prepare to square off against Team Chonchos. And already Team Chonchos is making it rain some utilities nearby them. Doesn't look like anyone took any damage there. We got Yin Yang just holding position at the base of the stairs. 99K being a sneaky little desert snake. Oh! And 99 is wrecked. All right, things are riding on Scar, Chifu, and Yin Yang. Arsh is going off in the distance there. I just have trouble remembering who BT is. Well, let's get it from members of Chanchos' perspective here. Zeb's holding position with, I believe, a 3x M4, was that? And a UMP combo. It's that new meta M4 UMP combo. And all the while, his teammates are pushing up closer and closer to the altercation. We got Vela at the base of this hill here with an M4 in hand. Actually, the same gun combo as his teammate, M4 UMP. And we see this time and time again. The trends on guns, you know, gun buffs always affect these kind of events. And, you know, the UMP buff that happened a couple months back absolutely changed the nature of scrims. A lot of UMPs for CQC combat became pretty prominent. All right, Vela making it rain. A lot of utilities, but will it amount to anything? I don't think so. And we are left here with a little bit of a spread otherwise. So for those of you who are just now tuning in, this is round 2 of 3 of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in October tournament qualifiers for Group A, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming. And we got one more match to go after this one. Vela does catch eyes on Shifu, but taken down ultimately in that altercation, leaving things down to a 3-piece of 24K, October 29th, and Parahacks. All right. Well, Impact Season, that's Impact from Team Season going off in the distance. I do want to catch eyes on that just for a brief moment. Season now with 1 kill to their name, but they are still in the clutches here of Twisted Minds and in quite a conundrum as it's down to Rizze and Tulip. And Tulip taking a huge hit, brought down to about 10% of his overall health, and still pushing out, does get the knock. But ultimately, revenge is best served cold and fast as they are eliminated at the hands of Twisted Minds. But all that noise and commotion could have brought the attention of the Crazy Owner Academy. However, will it amount to something that is yet to be seen? Twisted Minds wasting no time and already engaging in someone else. Yep, it is a takedown on a Twisted Minds member by the Crazy Owners. So they did end up going after that. Now, as FCK going off in the distance, I do want to catch eyes for just a brief moment. They have 0 kills to their name so far, but they did acquire a knock. However, Noob and Molly are both down, leaving things riding on. Dead is now down as well, so everything's riding on Eggs Left, who is approaching the altercation in a vehicle as fast as possible, but I don't know if he's going to be able to actually assist his teammates at this point. With an 8X Mini 14, he does scope in, catching a little bit of a line of sight on Arsh. Arsh does get the takedown on Rostigod? I didn't see what his name was, but he got him. And that'll be Arsh's 5th kill of the team's 8th. Man, old gangsters are not playing games. And this is a very, very polished Tier 2 team that borders on the T1 community. You see him winning a lot of... Hold on one second here. What is this? What is this guy doing? Rayo driving right up to the action here, going right by members of Excuse, somehow not knocked out of his vehicle here, taking a lot of damage in the process. Got down to 10% health, but still makes it away to a position of safety and does secure a position in zone. I do not recommend what he did to anyone else. That was very, very lucky that he came through alive. That was highly unlikely in that kind of a situation. Well, tuning into Chanchos here, we got Parallax awfully close in the clutches of the Night Slayers. Night Slayers, Lech Boy, trying to rain a little bit of hellfire on him, just falling a little bit further of its mark. off its mark, pardon me. And Parallax is getting a little bit of an eye on tempo, but taken down right there. And then, October 29th and Zabs remain here. And Parallax is quickly thirsted to follow. And they're going to use this opportunity to bow out a dodge and try to claim a position inside a zone before it's too late. But all the while taking a little bit of gunfire from the Night Slayers, as to be expected. Will they be able to get away? I should think so. Ooh, I like this. Chanchos is not going all the way to zone. They're making them think that they dipped out. And realistically, they just occupied the first divot they could find. And now the Night Slayers probably think that they're alone. This could be an opportune moment here. Oh! Third party... No, it's not a third party shot. Yes, it is. It was Excuse. I think it was Excuse. Well, Excuse did a lot of damage there. Unfortunately for them, they were not able to actually get the knock, and so the play zone chipped away at what little health he had left. We got Kai of Team Excuse, responsible for half of his team's kills already. Hey, Wilbur, thanks for the follow, buddy. Oh, man. This is interesting. Excuse holding down not the zone, but the position outside a zone. Gatekeeping from outside the zone it's risky. But as you can see, Kai, he's in very close proximity to Old Gangster's Arsh. And Arsh is not to be trifled with lightly here. As you can see, 7 kills to his name, 10 kills to the team. These guys, even down to solos, cannot be ruled out. Hey, thanks, Burger. I appreciate you. Okay, well, not a lot happening there, but guys, we are reaching in-game here as we approach our 21st minute, and here we have it. Crazy Owners Academy, pardon me. Holding it down as a 2-piece, but they seem to be unaware of the rules. So if they are unaware of the rules, then they probably aren't tuning into the stream themselves. But I will repeat it. You need at least 3 tags to be scored. So while they have 2 kills to their name and are getting decent placement, it is going to amount to absolutely 0 points, unfortunately, for them. Oh, Excuse up in the mix here. Rush is taken down, leaving things on James and Chronic. James does get the takedown with the UMP-45 and hopefully going to try to stick a revive, but no, that zone is chipping away way too fast. It's not going to happen. And boom goes the dynamite. Kai and James are all that remains here. Kai being taken down below half health just by the zone itself. James trying to hold a little position of Overwatch with that Scar L, firing inward at the Night Slayers. Infinity, thank you for the follow, buddy. Okay, so we got 23 on Trovo, 23 on Twitch, and 4 on YouTube. And let's see, 2 on Facebook. Okay. I would be completely content with that, except we all know what the Trovo people are doing here. They're not here to watch the game, I don't think. For most of them, that aren't. I'm sure like 5 or 6 of them are, but being as Twitch was the link that we promoted, it's a pretty good tell. All right, James with the Tommy gun pushing in on the Night Slayers. Ooh, we got a 3v2 on our hands. James is down right then, leaving everything riding on Kai and Kai alone, and ultimately he was just outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned. Well, guys, we are down to our final 7. 3 teams remain here. We got the Night Slayers, Crazy Owners, and members of, Crazy Owners Academy and Crazy Owners. Okay, that's confusing. Luckily, they have a different tag, so that's good. Calicar taking a little bit of damage as he tries to throw a nade. Oh, but it does connect! God, that one's clipped. That one is definitely... That'll be the one clip I title today. What a nade to finish, too. Nicely done. Unfortunately for them, they are going to lose their minds when they find out that even though they took first place with 6 kills, they entered as a 2-person team, somehow defied all the odds, and took a first place. It's so difficult to do, and ultimately they get 0 points. Guys, if you're not, paying attention to the rules, I don't know what to do. Yeah, you need at least 3 tags to be scored. And so while they do take first place, they are ultimately last place with 0 kills. The Night Slayers are going to take second place with 9 kills, but ultimately they get first place. We got the regular Crazy Owners, who are a 3-piece, and they are going to get essentially second place with 2 kills. Excuse in fourth with 5. We got 5th going to the Old Gangsters with 10. 7 of those 10 came from Arsh alone. Detrimental in 6th place with 2 kills, both of which are from Noob. We got Execution grabbing 7th with 4. 8th place is going to go to Twisted Minds, and they're going to do so with 7 kills. Not bad. We got Team Chancho securing 9th, and they're going to be doing that with 7. The As FCK crew in 10th with 1 kill from Dead. GR, which is Gods Reborn, going to be grabbing 11th place and doing so with 4 kills. We got 007 in 12th place with 2 kills from Yin Yang. 13th is going to go to Season with 2 kills, 1 from Impact and 1 from Tulip. We got the Supreme 7 Existence in 14th with 1 kill from Yo-Yo Gaming. Nuclear Power in 15th with 0. XLR, you are going to have that first player change his name or removed from the team. I'm not going to allow them to continue my event with that name. So yeah, 16th place. I will give you guys points and stuff right now, but Acceleration in 16th with 1 kill from Viz. Simper Invicta grabbing 17th this time around, but with 0 kills to speak of. The winners of round 1 bumped all the way down to 18th place with 0 kills for round 2. That is going to even things out quite a bit. And 19th place is going to go to OL, which is Off Limits, with 1 kill from Oopsie. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, y'all all know the drill by now. Stick around. We are going to be back in about 3 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes with round 3, our third and final round. We've seen how our participants handle the very first map ever of Erangel. We've seen how they handle the wide open desert of Miramar, but now it's time to take things to the closed-in, congested jungle of Sandhawk, of course. Guys, we'll be back in about 8 to 10 minutes with our third and final round of my very own RedEyes 450 Dead in October tournament qualifiers for Group A, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming. Stick around. We'll be back soon. But they are in zone. So whether or not they choose to use this up on that just for a brief moment. Season now with 1 kill to their name, but they are still in the clutches here of Twisted Minds and in quite a conundrum as it's down to Rizze and Tulip. And Tulip taking a huge hit, brought down to about 10% of his overall health, and still pushing out, does get the knock. Okay, so we got members of, is that Season? No, it's Off Limits, pulling a rotation. That kid pulled a very risky vehicle rotation, and Tony and the rest of the members, actually it wasn't even his, yeah it was, TP151, his teammate did get the takedown. I take that back. I'll withdraw my previous statement, and Tony going in right there and then. Okay, so we got members of, is that Season? No, it's Off Limits, pulling a rotation. That kid pulled a very... Arsh does get the takedown on Astagad. About that, I mean, absolutely no disrespect by it. All right, just waiting for that push, but it's coming. Well, is it though? Well, it looks like Old Gangsters are actually focusing more on Simper Invicta and his Butterfly taken out at the hands of Arsh. Go up for the other 3, which gave me a bit more hope, and the finals were great. But if this is one of those situations where I find out, you know, just the viewer count isn't going to meet those standards, then I'm going to have to make that executive decision and and cut the ties with it. I mean, why not? Because they already have 5 kills to their name. At this point, they could kind of lay a little bit lower and let those numbers dwindle down a bit. And Verk is going to use this opportunity to actually hop in the car with Arsh and dip on out of dodge. But will they make it successfully? It might not happen. Oh, and Verk is taken down right there and then. Oh! Well, Durkio not playing games, but they are in zone. So whether or not they choose to use this opportunity to rotate, it's kind of a situational basis. But looks like I see something. Yep, it's going to be members of Wildcard coming in to join the party. Tony K putting the fire down with that UMP, and he does. It's his teammate who gets the knock. Being as Twitch was the link that we promoted, it's a pretty good tell. All right, James with the Tommy gun pushing in on the Night Slayers. Ooh, we got a 3v2 on our hands. James is down. This is round 2 of 3 of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in October tournament qualifiers for Group A, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunman and Glacier Gaming. And we got one more match to go after this one. Vela does catch eyes on Shifu, but taken down ultimately. But I will repeat it, you need at least 3 tags to be scored. So while they have 2 kills to their name and are getting decent placement, it is going to amount to absolutely 0 points, unfortunately, for them. Oh, excuse, up in the mix here. Rush is taken down, leaving things on James and Chronic. James does get the takedown with the U-Man of the Supreme 7 existence, and he's doing so on his stomach from a belly bandit perspective. Keep in mind, guys, 2 of his teammates, Godlike and Sugui, are knocked, so it's going to be a 2-person team at this moment. Will they be able to stick revives? I don't know, but we can see his teammate here, Yo-Yo Gaming, does get the takedown right there and then. Appreciated enough to actually be watched, then it's not worth it to make people devote money out of their own pocket. Before, I was sponsored by Wildcard Gaming, and this was coming, all the sponsorship was coming from the streaming platform itself. This is not the same. This is all coming out of someone's the link that we promoted. It's a pretty good tell. All right, James with the Tommy gun, pushing in on the Night Slayers. Ooh, we got a 3v2 on our hands. James is down right then, leaving everything riding on Kai and Kai alone, and ultimately he was just outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned. Members of, Crazy Owners Academy and Crazy Owners. Okay, that's confusing. Luckily, they have a different tag, so that's good. Calicar taking a little bit of damage as he tries to throw a nade. Oh, but it does connect! God, that... Verk and Pratty, pardon me. And Pratty does get the knock there with the AK-47. He's not done yet. Switching quickly over to his M4. He's got eyes on Eric. And Eric actually being taken out from a third party from Gods Reborn, and then Pratty taken down. All right, well... Viz does get the knock right there and then. Can he move it? Oh, taken down in retaliation as the stairs, leaving everything riding on Stars and Stars alone. Coming up with a 34 clip M4. He does secure a thirst. And it's not out. He's not out of the frying pan yet. Here we go. And he was not expecting that. It is going to go in favor of God. Nice takedown by Noob. Now, the Night Slayers probably think that they're alone. This could be an opportune moment here. Oh, third party. No, it's not a third party shot. Yes, it is. It was excused. I think it was excused. Absolutely no hiding for him. He knew exactly where his opponent was. Never Fresh trying to hold down a position here on the other side of the hill. Let me switch over to Durkio. He is absolutely a solo at this point in a 1v4 scenario. All odds stacked against him, but hey, crazier things have happened. 151 is getting the high ground, and it's a quick finish, ladies. Snake. Oh! And 99 is... All right, well, Biz does get the knock right there and then by the play zone, and that brings me to my next point, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how good these players are, none of them have a higher KD than that blue zone. And this is just all-out bloodbath warfare. It is not a lot of space, not a lot of cover between these people. And there's Bionic there getting a takedown with the nade and trying to... All right. Well, Twisted Mind's going to unify themselves a little bit, and as to be expected, old gangsters are going to try to make it rain a little bit of hellfire on them. However, that one did not even make it in the building. Oh, what a nade by Pratty, though. Golly. Their own teammate, Never Fresh, has been down, bringing them to a three-piece. And here's the charge from 151 coming right into the smoke, UMP in hand. He's going to try to stick a revive on his fallen teammate right here and now. Luckily enough, they are in probably what is the only compound in zone. Now look at this. As FCK reduced down to Noob and Noob alone, and he ended up, it's a molly that does actually connect on Fresh. I think he's going to be able to heal up before that molly gets him, but whether or not they're going to push is yet to be seen. He's able to heal up. How did that neighbor? That's interesting. And boom goes the dynamite. Well, can he get the thirst? I doubt it, because with them having that cover... Oh, Arsh is going to push in, trying to stick a revive on his fallen teammate, Katri. Leaving things up to Verk and Pratty, pardon me. And Pratty does get the knock there with the AK-47. And the zone has closed in, ladies and gentlemen. It looks to be a Monte Nuevo zone. Oh, S7 Godlike taken out. But what we just heard... Is this the old gangsters firing? It is. Old gangsters firing at S7. Oh, Pratty taken down. Awfully close in the clutches of the Night Slayers. Night Slayers, Lech Boy, trying to rain a little bit of hellfire on him. Just falling a little bit further off its mark, pardon me. And Parallax is getting a little bit of an eye on Timbo, but taken down right there on that just for a brief moment. Season now with 1 kill to their name, but they are still in the clutches here of Twisted Minds and in quite a conundrum as it's down to Rizze and Tulip. And Tulip taking a huge hit, brought down to about 10% of his overall health, and still pushing out, does get the knock. Okay, so we got members of, is that Season? No, it's Off Limits, pulling a rotation. That kid pulled a very risky vehicle rotation, and Tony and the rest of the members, actually, it wasn't even his. Yeah, it was. TP-151, his teammate, did get the takedown. I take that back. I'll withdraw my previous statement. And Tony going in right there. Okay, so we got members of, is that Season? No, it's Off Limits, pulling a rotation. That kid pulled a very... Arsh does get the takedown on Astiga. About that, I mean, absolutely no disrespect by it. All right, just waiting for that push, but it's coming. Well, is it though? Well, it looks like old gangsters are actually focusing more on Super Invicta and his Butterfly taken out at the hands of Arsh. Go up for the other 3, which gave me a bit more hope, and the finals were great. But if this is one of those situations where I find out, you know, just the viewer count isn't going to meet those standards, then I'm going to have to make that executive decision and cut the ties with it. I mean, why not? Because they already have 5 kills to their name. At this point, they could kind of lay a little bit lower and let those numbers dwindle down a bit. And Verk is going to use this opportunity to actually hop in the car with Arsh and dip on out of dodge. But will they make it successfully? It might not happen. Oh, and Verk is taken down right there and then. Oh! Well, Durkio not playing games, but they are in zone. So whether or not they choose to use this opportunity to rotate, it's kind of a situational basis. But looks like I see something. Yep, it's going to be members of Wildcard coming in to join the party. Tony K putting the fire down with that UMP, and he does. It's his teammate who gets the knock. But being as Twitch was the link that we promoted, it's a pretty good tell. All right, James with the Tommy gun, pushing in on the Night Slayers. Ooh, got a 3v2 on our hands. James is down. It's his round 2 of 3. Oops. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our third and our final round of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in October tournament qualifiers for Group A, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter Gunman and Glacier Gaming, and we are going to be ending this night with, you guessed it, a Sandhawk match. Now, what do we need to say about Sandhawk? Basically the exact opposite of our last match, which was Miramar, which is our largest map. This is our smallest. Technically, Livikin, Karrakin, and now Noosa are all smaller than this, but we don't mess with those in scrims, so this is what we got. Meaning that the odds of two teams landing next to each other is just automatically going to be a bit higher. But it's also the most condensed map that we have in the game. Now, what do I mean when I say condensed? I mean most lush and vegetation. There's more natural cover to take, more grass to hide inside, and trees and boulders to hide behind. So you need to be alert for a higher than average number of snakes than usual. And the third and final thing I want to say about this map is that it's so small that it finds itself pretty independent of the flight path. I mean by that, you can get pretty much anywhere you want on this map just by deploying your chute early enough. So with that being said, yes, the participants have a perfectly central flight path. They got really, really, really lucky in terms of flight paths on all 3 matches. But given what I just said about the flight path for this, it kind of just ironic that they were left with the perfect one. But either way, we got some early jumpers, ladies and gentlemen. Right away, I am seeing members of Execution and Twisted Minds dropping down at the Pinon area. Now, I have a little bit of reservation to watch this, and the reason is because Pinon has just this reputation for teams holding down positions on opposite sides of the river and just letting those numbers dwindle. And it looks like this might not be an exception. But we got Squall from Nuclear Power just right up here in the mix with Season. And oh boy, Dougie does get a takedown and secures 1 kill. Oh, but all the while his teammate Squall is downed and eliminated in retaliation. And Dougie is angry, coming in to try to settle the score once and for all.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Let's get ready to loot, more like it. All right. Wow. Look at that spread. This is really ironic, and I'll just go out and say it. It's ironic because, yeah, these spreads do occasionally happen on Sandhawk, but they are few and far between. So we had congestion in Erangel, had a lot of congestion in Miramar, which is least likely to have it, and then the map where you're most likely to have it, almost none. Only 2 teams landing in the midst of each other. This is an interesting day. I am super bummed that we're not at a higher view count. Also, 'cause I don't know. I just the amount of work that we put into these events is probably overlooked, and that it's not meant to be focused on. The amount of work that goes into it is not really meant to be a focal point. But I kind of pigeonholed myself when I made this event by making it a dead-in-month event, because that means it has to change every month, which means new graphics, new everything, and, ooh, that's Eric being taken down. And so I do come up with a different theme every single month, and this is a carryover from last year, but that's a lot of overlay work and stuff as well. And, you know, as I said, it previously, this event was huge. At one point, we peaked at like 300 viewers, which is absurd for a North American non-pro event. But these days, it just, I don't know. D with another takedown with that UMP. I might just be being cynical, you know, but I look at my buddy Shredder, like, and right now, for instance, he's got an event which you guys absolutely should have a tab open for. If you support me, support my friends. He is the owner and manager, coordinator, everything for Rose League, which is North America's only all-female event that I know of. Well, that is not good for them. Eric and AO remain here, but D is going to get revived, and it looks like Twisted Minds comes out of this altercation victorious. But yeah, Rose League is doing actually pretty darn well right now. I think they're at like 40 viewers or something. And by the way, that is also PUBG Mobile's in North America. That's the longest standing event in the entire scene. So you absolutely should be supporting Rose League by all means. But with that being said, we have 80 participants. And if the 80 participants just opened a tab, then this would be a huge event. But not even the participants are willing to show that kind of support. And that's kind of what makes me want to dial it back a little bit. All right. I know that this is like such a drag way, like just a drag on the mood, by all means, not something you should talk about while casting, but I do want to give a little bit of context to kind of how important the viewer turnout is this month. A lot is going to be riding on it, just like it was last month. And until this kind of picks up again, is it going to be worth it for me and my staff is the question. All right, well, these guys have been right on top of each other. Nuclear Power being reduced down to a two-person team of Jin and Dams, but they are still in fairly darn close proximity to Season, and Season is at least a three-piece at this point. We see 007 Esports going off in the distance. Let's catch a closer eye on that. They are still a full four-person team. And swimming here in the midst of Simper and Vic... No, not Simper and Victor, pardon me. They're DQ'd. Swimming in the midst of the Night Slayers. And, ooh, Scar coming in, putting in the damage. Can his teammates add on to it? Yin Yang up against Timbo. He does get Timbo just being taken down right after himself. Chifu from a distance with a 3x and 4, not really close enough to the mix, in my opinion. All the while, Scar needs to heal up his teammate, and he's at half health himself. Chifu needs to get up there. And Scar going to try to put down a little bit of smoke cover if possible. Oh, but taking some nade damage in the process, brought down to about 10% of his overall health. Will he be able to get this first nade off in before another nade lands? He will, but barely in the nick of time, because I saw that being thrown. All right. Oh, that was there. That was 007 who threw that. My apologies. Ooh, Season from Impact is out of there. All right. Well, this is not looking ideal for Scar at all. Oh, but he does get a perfect takedown on Patron without taking any damage whatsoever with that Uzi in hand. No, not even a microstock. Able to secure a thirst, and as soon as he does, that ticks him off, and they retaliate, taking one of his own out. Give him credit where credit is due. He's dressed up pretty accordingly for a Sandhawk match. Look how well he blends in. Nicely done by Scar. I'll clip that, even though it's not going to be seen here. It's worth a clip, maybe for later. That's very nice of you, Jade. I appreciate you. Nuclear Power is having at it, actually. They got 3 kills to their name, and wow. As not as intense as I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to be looking on a fight, and they're still holding down position in the house, and why not? I mean, they're playing it probably as they should, as a 2-piece. I'm going to switch over to Detrimental as they square off here and now up against members of Crazy Owners. This is not Crazy Owners Academy, it's Crazy Owners. Nice takedown by Keem. He's not going to be focusing on that thirst. He's going to be more focused in on trying to secure a position for his teammates to get revived. Noob holding position here. UMP in hand. UMP for everyone, it looks like. All except for Young, who strays from the path and chose the route of the Uzi. That was a nice nade. That was a really nice nade. All right. Tuning in to members of Gods Reborn. We got them awfully close here in the mix to what I believe is Acceleration. It is. Which one of them is super close? They all got their 6Xs. Ooh, Dark's a ways out at Paradise. Wolf is way back as well. Wow, they're kind of spread out, aren't they? It's a 2-2 split? No, 2-1-1 split. Ooh! So this is exactly what I was talking about previously with what Twisted Minds was doing in round 2. It's kind of that tier 1 strength, that 2-1-1 split. I see it a lot from the Knights. I see it a lot from the Panthers. It's where they kind of surround them on 3 sides and then they just sort of close in, constrict on them. And but give Acceleration credit where credit is due. They're occupying a little bit of a spread as well, trying to meet their opponents head on. Maybe. I don't know if they know where their opponents are. But if so, it's pretty well played. All right, time to check in on the old gangsters. Arsh and No Life are down. No Life is out of there, and Arsh, we all know that he is the main breadwinner for round 2 for this team. Him being knocked is not a small deal at all to them. Verk taking a lot of damage, brought down to about half health. Coming down with the UMP does impact a lot of damage, but ultimately they were... Verk gets him! Let's go, old gangsters. They were not supposed to win that at that point. Verk was down to half health, and they literally, I mean, to be honest, give credit to AsFCK. They had a great strategy. One person does the damage, takes some damage, jumps out of the way. The other one jumps right in to cover him, and that is a great strategy. Verk somehow pulled it off, though, and oh, Katri is out of there. Arsh is down. Verk is the only one up in this case. All right, little calm before the storm scenario. So while I do have a brief moment, guys, I'm going to go over the format once more. Keep in mind the format has absolutely changed since I made this graphic, so I'll explain those changes as we go. We got 20 teams competing. Out of those 20 teams, 4 will advance, not 3, because now we're doing only 3 qualifiers. Case in point, 3 rounds of qualifiers plus 8 invited Tier 1 teams, where they will all square off at the finals, which is just like 5 days from now, for the $400 cash prize. And now, thanks to HOG and Glacier, they have included a $50 top frag prize as well. All right, well, these 2 teams, Nuclear Power and Season, have been right next to each other almost the entirety of the game, and this is not any, down talk on it, but it does give me a bit of hesitancy to actually tune into this, even though they are the closest thing to an altercation that we have at the moment. Oh, maybe not. Getting eyes on Viz of Acceleration. He's right here in the mix of someone from Crazy Owners Academy, but he is not shooting. There he goes. Yeah, he's shooting. Easy claps. And he's not too greedy. He could have gone right there for the thirst, but he tried to get to a position and cover just in case more members of the Crazy Owners Academy were nearby, which, in this case, they don't seem to be. Oh, now he gets eyes on Gods Reborn, doing great damage to Wolf and taking nothing in the process. Ooh, Viz taking some third-party damage. Yeah, you done ticked off some members of the Crazy Owners, ticked off some members of Gods Reborn. He started bucking up with 2 different teams at the same time when he has only one teammate, and that teammate is not here with him to help. He might have bit off more than he could chew. I agree, Trojan. I do agree that the IGLs from each team need to speak to their clan members and friends to support the stream and their team, but they're not going to do that. I know that they're not going to do that because this has been going on for almost 2 years, and they haven't done it yet. So, I mean, it's just the reality. It's not necessarily like, I'm not like downing them. It's just not, you know, majority of these participants are younger, you know, and it's kind of hard for when you're young to kind of prioritize those things or even appreciate those kind of things when they come to you in such abundance. And that's not their fault at all. Nuclear power still popping off somehow. Oh, but Dams is eliminated, all riding on Jin 99 here. He's got Twisted Minds members right on him. Nades coming from Eric, not doing any connecting damage. I withdraw my previous statement. I cast a curse him as the second nade rains down, taking him down to just above half health. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be raiding my boy Shredder to tune into the Rose League immediately after this event. But be aware, if any of you guys are interested, I am going to be doing a personal gaming stream. Ooh, that's it for Nuclear Power. I will be doing a personal gaming stream immediately after this stream. All right, we got Excuse. Still a full 4-person team, 2 kills to their name. Kai, really close in proximity to members of Supreme 7 Existence. Definitely nade distance. And that zone is coming in. Rosh is not going to like that. That zone is severely... I actually boosted up the zone damage even more for Sandhawk. And the reason being is because in scrims, there is a huge trend called, most of you guys know it, the heal strat. And it's specific to Sandhawk for the most part, where someone will hang out in the dead zone with like 30 first aids and just heal up over and over and over while the numbers dwindle down. To me, it's a low route to take. But the thing is that the results are unquestionable. So a lot of people do it. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, see, we already can see James from Excuse. That's his plan. He's going to learn really, really quickly that that is not going to work out very well for him. And I did that on purpose. All right, wild card going off in the distance. That's Legend getting his first knock. And they're going to use this opportunity to push up. They're up against the Crazy Owners Academy right here and now. And, ooh, Twisted Minds being worked on a little bit here as well. And I think, yeah, he's up against members of Season still. Rayo finishes the job right there and then, didn't he? I believe so. Yes, he did. That was a monster nade as he took Chaos from Season out. And that's going to be it for Season for this match and for this qualifier. We are going to switch quickly over. Nope, we're not, because wildcard eliminate. Pick up a pretty quick pace. Wow, we got the whole event done in almost 2 hours. A little less than 2 hours. 20 minutes less. So it'll be done in 5 minutes. Pretty quick event, hour and 45. I'm pretty proud of that, because I think a lot of people would like to keep these events moving at a faster pace. You know, they don't like it when they take up the whole entirety of their night. And same goes to me. All right, so we are down to our final 5 teams, ladies and gentlemen. We got Twisted Minds. We got Supreme 7 Existence. We got Wildcard, Detrimental, and Excuse. And Rosh is the last one from Excuse, just holding position. Oh, but here we go. How many? He does not look to be using that heal strat. He's got 3. That's it. Is the nade good? no, it's not. That will not be good either. Wow, nice job, Rayo, but Rayo is also going to be down in the process as a result of that damage. Young and Keem and Noob, all detrimental, not looking in a good spot here. T98 just trying to get in. He does somehow get to heal up, but taking a lot of damage from wildcard members in the process. He does claim a position in this new zone, however. Guys, we are down to our final two teams. It's going to be detrimental, the two-piece of T98K and Noob, up against the three-person team of Legend 151 and Fresh 77 of Wildcard. And, 151 taken out by Noob right there and then. Noob brought down to below half health and taken down at the side party from Neverfresh. No, thank you. T98K is the last hope for his team, and that Molly does rain on him, and boom goes the dynamite. Will he be able to heal up? Not now that one's there. That's game. That cake is done. Goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
All right, well, Wildcard is going to be taking another dub here. So they have now secured 2 victories out of 3 matches. I think their odds are pretty good. However, with second round 2, they were finished in 18th place with 0 kills. So this could still be up in the air. However, they only need to be in the top 4. And I think they probably have that in the bag at this point. Wildcard, first place, 8 kills. 5 of those 8 came from Neverfresh. Detrimental securing second with 6 kills between Noob and T98K. We got Twisted Minds grabbing third with 7. 5 of those 7 came from Rayo. We got the Supreme 7 Existence boys in 4th place with 2. We got Excuse grabbing 5th with 2 kills from Chronix. As FCK in 6th with 3. We got Acceleration in 7th with 6. 8th place is going to go to, goodness gracious, CO. This is, of course, Crazy Owners. And they're going to be taking that with 1 kill from No Rev. We got the Crazy Owners Academy following right after in 9th place with 0 kills. However, they only have 2 tags, so technically they shouldn't be scored either. Season grabbing 10th with 3 between Chaos and Impact. The Night Slayers in 11th with 5 between Patron and Tempo. No, I already got that screenshot, but just in case. Nuclear Power in 12th this time around with 4. 13th is going to go to the Old Gangsters with 3. We got Gods Reborn in 14th with 2. 007 Esports in 15th with 2 kills, both of which are from Scar. And let's see, OL, the Off Limits boys and girls, in 16th with 2 kills from Donda. And lastly, 17th is going to go to Execution with 1 kill from Wolfalina. All right. I know I just got that screenshot, but... Alrighty, guys, I just want to say thank you so much to those of you who did tune in and show your support. A lot of you guys were also my regulars, so that is, comforting and discomforting at the same time. But to end the stream at 15, it's not a good sign. But as I said, this did happen last month as well for the Group A qualifiers and things picked up, so I'm not going to rule anything out. But be aware, guys, if you do want this event to continue at all, you have to show support for the event in the first place. And that is me speaking to the participants, all of the participants. Very disappointed in the participants from tonight, to be honest. Not cool. Anyways, with that being said, guys, we are coming at you again for Group B qualifiers tomorrow. Same time, same place, 8 o'clock p.m. EST. And with that being said, guys, I don't want to waste too much more of your time. I really appreciate those of you who did come in and show your support. We'll be back at you tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and raid Shredder. I hope you all have a great night. Have fun, be safe, and be kind to one another. GG's. Wildcard is going to be taking another dub here, so they have now secured 2 victories out of 3 matches. I think their odds are pretty good. However, with second round 2, they were finished in 18th place with 0 kills. This could still be up in the air. However, they only need to be in the top 4. And I think they probably have that in the bag at this point. Wildcard, first place, 8 kills. 5 of those 8 came from Neverfresh. Detrimental securing second with 6 kills. Between Noob and T98K. We got Twisted Minds grabbing third with 7. 5 of those 7 came from Rayo. We got the Supreme 7 Existence boys in 4th place with 2. We got Excuse grabbing 5th with 2 kills from Chronix. Gamers Academy following right after in 9th place with 0 kills. However, they only have 2 tags, so technically they shouldn't be scored either. Season grabbing 10th with 3 between Chaos and Impact. The Night Slayers in 11th with 5 between Patron and Tempo. No, I already have the screenshot just in case. Nuclear Power in 12th this time around with 4. 13th is going to go to the Old Gangsters with 3. We got Gods Reborn in 14th with 2. 007 Esports in 15th with 2 kills, both of which are from Scar. And